Here we go. Good morning, everyone. The Rant Booth is live on the Ocean City Boardwalk, exclusively on a2dradio.com. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, and Instagram. You miss anything here on A2D Radio, download us wherever you get your podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, iTunes. Takeover talk. It's real. It's happening. Got a lot to talk about today. We got Brad Quast in the house. We got John Coyle in the house.
What's up, guys?
I'm Rob Brickman, of course. Ralphie Delavecchio is producing this program. It's Combine Week. We got into a lot of, obviously, Brad here is our insider. He's our professional athlete. He actually attended the Combine. But what'd you say, 89 you got drafted?
Yeah, so I 89 Combine, Indianapolis, same place that I had it at. But a lot different now. No one in the stands.
Yeah, it's public.
Now it's public, and now it's a media event. So completely different, and these guys are under a microscope.
It's the fans. It's like a fan event.
It's fan.
You get the Twitter and the Facebook, and everyone's
out there with the popcorn and the
not
candy.
only that, like the interactive. I looked this guy up on YouTube. Like back in '89 when you were there, like
no one knew you.
If I didn't watch Iowa or go to an Iowa game, I don't know like what's going on. Now I just Sky Moore.
Yep.
Oh,
the NFL is the best marketing company in the world.
It's unbelievable.
They make their product. That's why it's the best sports organization out there.
Me and my co-host, Brad Ryer on Monday nights catch us tomorrow. We're both big baseball guys. Johnny, you're a big baseball guy too, and we plead with the MLB to take the model.
Yeah.
Take the model. It's month after month. It's just a never-ending rolling ball with the NFL. And we're at the Combine right now. Teams are starting to get their ducks in a row and assemble their rosters, and free agency's coming up, and some decisions have to be made throughout the league on the franchise tag.
Yeah.
The people have to decide if they want to play football up there in Green Bay.
Right around the corner.
March 8th, I think it is.
But every event the NFL sets is a spectacle. It's a media circus. So the Combine, I mean, I get emails all the time. There must have been a half a dozen parties at the Combine. The draft that we're going to go in Vegas for and be live remotes out there. It's a spectacle. The draft that you won't even understand how big the draft is.
But Brad, they do a 3-hour special on NFL Network, ESPN, so at least 2 channels, just about the schedule.
Correct.
Yes. Yep. Yes. It's crazy.
Yeah. Because then people see the schedule, and they're like, wow, the Eagles are in Nashville this year. That's kind of cool. Wow, we're out in Scottsdale this year. You get your boys on the horn, you go out. Yeah. You plan your whole vacation around the NFL. So we plead with the MLB to like the MLB, for example, they have their draft in June. During the MLB season.
Yep. Right. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Okay. Why don't you do it December 1st when there's nothing going on?
Yep. But they don't get it. I think the arrogance with the MLB and they're so far apart. The players union, the union for the baseball players and the owners, they're going to miss the start date. I mean, they're going to have to push it back.
Yeah, they already canceled a couple. We'll get to the tail end. We're going to get into some MLB stuff. We got some Sixers talk. James Harden off to a bang. The era didn't go so well last time, but James didn't play.
I was expecting.
Hey, you're not going to win every game.
You knew that. I mean, you knew that going down to Miami.
And we got some NFL draft talk. We got Combine talk, and we got some Jalen Hurts talk. We're of course down here at All Campus between 10th and 11th Street on the Ocean City Boardwalk. That's All Campus. We are the Rant Booth. There's people.
There's people out there.
It's not as nice as they said it was going to be, but the sun's trying to peek out here, I think, and I think we're going to get some sunshine. And it's not windy, and
is Mac and Manco Pizza open? Are they open?
Oh yeah, they're open.
Send me a pie.
They're always open.
Yeah.
I was down here in February, and we were drinking the whole thing, and we got Mac and Manco's. They were there with 15 minutes.
They're always open.
Yeah, they're always open. Pretty good pizza too. But yeah, we got. Obviously, we're here at a Rant Booth. You want to come out? You're local. You want to come down? Come rant with us. Talk about whatever you want, whatever's on your mind. Maybe it's Sixers. Maybe it's the NFL Combine. Maybe it's college hoops.
Yeah.
March around the corner.
March Madness this year. Yeah.
How about Duke?
We're going to touch that a little bit.
Night.
Going down.
I have to.
At home. You know, all those
Coach
all the
K's
old
last game.
all the veterans come back and they see him, Coach K, and they
you know what it reminded me of? It was when Tampa Bay came into the last game at the Vet and shut it down.
Yeah,
I mean, like Coach K is like what one of the 2 or 3 greatest.
They should have almost on purpose threw the game just for him. You know, I felt bad.
Right.
You know,
Hey, watching it, I feel like that's what Duke thought was going to happen. Like they were just UNC was just going to roll over, and
I think they just had the pregame was a little too much, and they just had a little fun, and the game didn't really matter.
And like this is Duke, right? So like this is like prestigious Ivy League level education. So like this is the future of America in the stands here, and they're all crying their eyes out.
Oh, that was the best.
Dressed like Mickey Mouse and every Sesame Street character.
Well, that's why we can touch base about it. The recruiting, you need to be a special student athlete to go to Duke.
Yeah.
It's not like going to some of the other big basketball schools where you just kind of show up and that's it. I mean,
you're not just looking to jump out the gym. You got to do a lot. Yeah,
you got to do a lot. It's like playing football at Notre Dame. You got to go to school and you got to intertwine with the other students. It's
got to be a model citizen.
That's why I think Kelly left. Yeah. Part of it, at least.
Right.
So now he can go.
He couldn't get any kids in that
he recruited. I don't want to disrespect. Yep. I don't want to it's a better league down there. It's just a different animal.
Yeah.
Football,
by the way, he's making $2 more million a year.
That's true too.
Come on.
Yep.
No, you say the alphabet, you color between the lines a little bit, and you're good for
you
Saturday.
Got a scholarship.
You're good for Saturday. You're good. Oh, you're 6'5", 4'3"?
Yeah, you're in.
Good. Come on in.
Yep.
But let's get to our poll question. Okay, we got a 50% off sale. Continues out with the old, in with the new. 50% off. There's a big table. I don't even know how many hats there are. Right? People buy them and they just bring more out. Any team you could possibly want is on this table. 50% off down here at the ramp booth. And also, you get an additional 20% off if you're an A2D member. A2D member, special shows, shout-outs, members picks from Willie Vegas and Nate Moss.
And John's going old school Eagles there.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
he's all decked out.
That's not early
all
90s
Kelly,
Eagle.
Baby.
90s
all Kelly
Eagle,
Greens.
early 90s Eagle.
Let's get to the poll question. Then we'll get to some Combine talk, some Sixers talk, and then some MLB talk if there's time. Do you believe that the Eagles are in the market for a quarterback? Now, Howie Roseman came out. He kind of gave the GM weasel answer that he kind of always does. Like, yeah, we have Jalen. We believe in Jalen, but we're always trying to improve.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, like, you're sitting on a fence and you're leaving yourself open. Then Nick Sirianni, he's all in on Jalen Hurts. He wants him back. But I think that might be the Nick Sirianni stubbornness talking. He thinks he can fix him and make him into, Josh Allen, when I don't think he's Josh Allen. But it seems as though my dream of Russell Wilson playing for the Philadelphia Eagles is all but dead.
Yeah.
And the Eagles are going to have Jalen Hurts as their quarterback next year. And, I don't believe that they're going to be in the market for a quarterback. I did read online about Deshaun Watson that if criminal charges aren't filed by April 1st, they can't be charged for whatever.
But let's talk about that. Have you seen what he's done and what's coming out? I mean,
yes. What he's been accused
of. Okay. Oh, dude, he's a bad dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not fair, though. No, I'm going to push back on that. I am going to push back on that because you're innocent until proven guilty in this country.
Okay. But you're innocent until proven guilty, but the allege in what he's being
perception of it.
Well, not. Let's have some latitude here. So he's been accused of some outrageous things,
right?
Okay, it's so being accused of one thing, but to prosecute him and get the evidence is a different thing, and that's what you're saying, right? So he's not guilty yet, but just the fact that all these girls are saying the same thing and it's a pattern, he's a bad dude. I mean,
well, look at Trevor Bauer. Everyone convicted Trevor Bauer.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
Oh boy, you're going to be an attorney, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, and to his point, he does have a good, valid point that, you never know what people are saying behind your back to what is really happening in those situations.
But we'll keep it to sports, but you see all these talking heads on TV, they all have agendas. Correct. Everybody has an agenda. Except here at A2D Radio, we don't have an agenda.
Yeah, we got no agenda. We don't. Yeah, but the fact that you put himself in that many compromising positions over and over again
seems like you're making the same mistake.
Yeah, tells me his character or decision-making process sucks. So I don't want a guy like that in town. I mean, not to be the franchise guy. Can't do it.
But he could throw the ball really
good.
The
fuck out of the ball.
Yeah, he can.
And throw the ball really good. So, I think we're going to beat Jalen here. The more I peel back the onion here, unless Seattle just totally changes course and Russell Wilson starts stamping his feet and demands out, I think that Jalen Hurts is going to be here.
Well, didn't Russ they have a pretty good offer? Russ don't
want to come to Philly. Why would you want to come to Philly?
No, there's no way I'm coming to Philly over the other teams. Yeah.
Why would Russ want to come to Philly?
Why not? Why? I always hear this too. Like, why not Philly? Why?
Because
we're in the playoffs every year with no stability at the quarterback position.
I'm just telling you perception. Why? Because
you're an insider. Why is there stigma on Philly like that?
Well, okay, so if you just take economics, they're not going to. They don't pay as much.
That's true.
And then when you do pay, you're gonna you lose 7% of your city wage tax.
Taxes. Yeah.
Okay. If you live in Jersey, it's a high cost of living, but they don't care when you're making all that money anyway. But it's just not an environment. The facilities aren't the greatest. NovaCare's average at best.
And let's keep in mind too. And then listen, we are that, but the fans, it's hard to play in Philly. I wouldn't want to do it.
Listen, players kind of tune that out.
I don't know.
I think some players tune it out, but it depends how thick-skinned you are.
Right. Right. At his age, at what he's accomplished, there's just no way I would look to come into the Philadelphia market.
But Russ is great.
His wife will be a big decision maker there. Is it an environment where she wants to live?
Sure, that too. Yep.
Well, I mean, if she wants to go to New York, you want to talk about it. I mean, what are the taxes in Seattle? They can't be low. The way they like to do things out there, New York, like you need a team that is going to have the goods to trade for him. So if he wants out, like there's only so many places he can go.
Yeah,
there's only so many teams that can put together a package and pay him on top of that.
And give him a winning opportunity.
True, but you got to look at there's two sides of that, right? What you're talking about, the teams that have to be able to put a package together, that's not his concern.
No,
right? His concern is I have a no trade clause. I want to go where I want to go. I don't care if they only give up a 5th rounder. Yeah, that's where I want to go.
That's irrelevant to him. He's in the driver's seat,
but he does need.
He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid no matter what. 100%. And then it matters. It matters of okay. What's the best for my wife that's in the entertainment business? What's best for me life after football? I figure I got 3 to 5 years left. By going to a market that's going to give me more exposure, what do I want to do life after football? I have kids. Am I going to live there all year round? Am I going to live, where I live now and go half the season, which most guys do? That's a lot of factors.
Yeah, I think that would be the biggest factor more than the teams that have draft equity or whatever to make the trade work is where does he want to go? Because no matter we could want to give up 3 first rounders. If he says no, it's no.
Yeah.
And that's that.
He's going to not let his no trade clause go to a shitty team and win 5, 6 games and get beat up.
Yeah.
No, it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Eagles check. If Russell Wilson does want out of Seattle, you could go to Denver. That's probably a better situation. Pittsburgh, maybe that's a better situation. Washington.
Tampa.
Okay.
I mean, to me, there's better destinations for a top tier quarterback like him.
Agreed.
So we're in agreement. Yeah, Jalen Hurts is probably going to be here next year.
He's going to be here.
Yep.
And we got the combine going on out in Indianapolis. New league year starting. So the Eagles, we're all in agreement. Jalen Hurts is going to be the guy.
Right.
Yep.
Whether that upsets
like
you or
not,
excites you.
He's it.
That's what
it's
going to be.
Yep.
So if he's going to be the guy, let's put a best team around him now.
There it is.
So now you go to the first round of the draft. The Eagles have 15. They have 16. They have 19. Like, what does this football team have to do to put Jalen Hurts in more of a position to succeed next year? Now that it's kind of looking like he's going to be the quarterback. Like, do you draft offense when you have clear needs on defense?
No, I to me, the best thing to do is bolster that defense. I think that's the best way to help Jalen Hurts is bolster up that defense. Get him more possessions. Get him better field position. That's what I think will ultimately help him because he does have weapons, right? He can use his feet. He does. He has a decent arm. It's not great, not spectacular, but he can make it work if you put him in the right situations. I think a defense can really help him with doing that. I would go defense.
Yeah. So here's what they do. So everyone's out at the combine this week, and they view. So let all the dust settle. They evaluate everybody. They get the right height, weight measurements. They make sure all the physicals check out. And then the guys next week will have their senior days, and then they go back to those and kind of then they take the two numbers and legitimize them, and they put them on their big board. So then Howie goes back with the scouting department and says, okay, here's what they usually teams rank one, best available football player to, 1 to 100, no matter what position. Then they have the player rankings of within the position groups that they rank. So that's how they rank it in their draft board. Then what you do, so with the draft capital they have, and they take the first 2 rounds. They got 3 in the first round. Then they go back and they say, here's our needs, like we were talking about it. We have a need for, we got to bolster our defense. Jalen's going to be here. What do we need to support him to, win the conference and then eventually go to the Super Bowl again? So by doing that, who do they covet? And with the draft capitals they have, the 3 first rounders, there's like a formula that they have. Do they move up to get that guy in the top 10? What do they have to give up? And so all that's happening over the next 2 weeks, and that'll shake out, and hopefully we can get a little better picture of what they're doing. But no one tells anybody because it's, you don't want to let your, show your cards, basically.
Yeah, Tommy, Tom Arnone, he's in. He despises the combine. I don't like it either. Bunch of guys running around in a straight line in spandex is not an indication of how good of an NFL football player.
But unfortunately, I totally agree. But the only reason the combine is really there, it gives all 32 teams a chance to see everybody and see the data, the medical history, the drug test, the Wonderlic test. That's only useful it is. The other things like running around in shorts and guys training for it it's bull. Like it doesn't matter how good of a player you are. I mean, you got to.
I think it's more.
Your tape has to back up your speed. Yeah,
right. But what about the preparation of it? Right. Yes, I know they're only running in shorts. They don't have the pads on and everything like that. But I do want to see a guy who takes it serious, that has put some time in and prepare for it. Yep, right. And not a guy who comes in. We were just talking about the Ryan Leaf came in way overweight and didn't look like he really cared. Like, I don't want to draft that guy.
Well, how the time has changed.
Yeah, but you don't want to
do it. I stopped drinking for a week before.
Right.
So, I mean, we didn't take it serious back then. It was just like, oh, the combine, great. Okay, what do we do?
But John, you remember Mike Mamula?
Yeah,
he went to the combine and killed it.
Made a lot of money training for it.
Made a lot of money, and
made him. Yeah.
I don't want to say he couldn't play because he was like a rotational D lineman, which would be fine if you didn't take him 7th overall and pass on Warren Sapp.
I hear you.
But Warren Sapp pissed. He flagged the drug test. That was his deal.
Correct.
So, but here's the deal with
he was the U, right?
The scouts, and it wasn't for marijuana. So, the scouts never want to be wrong. Like picking a guy, you always have that guy that has the great college player, but didn't fit into the physical attributes and has a 10-year career and a great career. Like the Russ, that's why Russ wasn't high, but because he was too short. Russell Williams,
right?
But
I think he would have gotten picked high. Russ would have gotten picked higher if he didn't.
If he was a little taller.
Well, he flirted with. Nobody knew if he was going to do baseball or what.
It was height. It was a height thing. He was too small. Oh, too small. He's too small. They got to have a quarterback that's 6'4" and above. So, but if the guys that look really good on, look like Tarzan, and then are bust. Right. They're like, well, he had all the attributes. He just wasn't a pro. He didn't convert to a pro. But the guys that get fired take a shot on a guy that doesn't have those attributes, that has a good heart and has good football IQ, and he doesn't do well. Then the GM gets fired.
Right, and I was just about to say that is what's more important for a GM: missing on a guy that they pick, or missing on a guy that they didn't pick.
Well, here's the GM too. So you have the GM coaching staff. If the GM picks a guy that's got the measurables and he doesn't pan out, the GM could go to the owner and go, "Hey, it's a freaking coach. Coach, the guy's got all the tools. He's not coaching him up.
We didn't teach him up." Yeah.
If the GM picks a guy that's a really good high motor guy and a really productive guy in college, but doesn't have the measurables and he doesn't succeed, the coach goes, "Well, the guy
he just doesn't have the talent.
The guy's 6 feet tall and he ran a 4.9. He can't cover."
Right.
Well, I think you only have to evaluate who you can't pick everybody.
That's true.
You have to make choices somewhere along the line, and sometimes you're going to pick wrong, sometimes you're going to pick right. A lot of people get on Howie Roseman for his misses. Howie Roseman also hits a lot too. They're in the playoffs every damn year. Every GM misses. Bill Belichick misses. Like
they all miss.
Every team, every team passed on Tom Brady 5 times.
Yeah.
He's the best quarterback ever. Joe Montana went in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Like, it just goes on and on. So you got to look at, you can't, oh, man, that's why I'm over Justin Jefferson. You didn't pick him. You made a mistake.
Correct.
It happens.
Yep.
But you miss a lot of times, and that's why it's so important to have a scouting department that is on the same page and just communication, and then quite frankly a scouting a program and the department that has and knows what the coaching staff needs are and what fits in schematic wise, what they're running. That's a whole, what kind of defense I'm running, a 3-4 or 4-3. It's different personnel.
Correct.
Am I offensively, am I kind of a West Coast offense? Am I, that's
2 tight end offense. Yeah. Yep.
That's important. It's really important.
It is.
Jake Hensler, he's checking us out on YouTube. If you stick with Hurts, then you're going to need a defense who can take away the football, put the team on their back, and win some games for them.
Exactly.
That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
Look,
coming to this draft, that's where I'm at.
And then I'll push back. I'll stir the pot. I maintain that building a roster in today's NFL is not the way you build a roster 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Absolutely not.
You need to score 30. Yeah. If you can't score 30 points, you're not winning a championship. Period.
But yeah, I totally agree with you. And I'll take that to the next level as well. Is the good thing they have the 3 first rounders, because the way the salary cap is set up, the 3 first rounders are 5-year deals.
5-year deals.
You have these guys for 5 years. So let's say you hit on 2 of them and they become Pro Bowlers. You don't have to redo their contract. So then you have 5-year deals. You can spend your money on everyone else. Look at the teams that went out and spent a shitload of money on 2 positions. Well, then their salary cap strung. They're got their hands tied now.
Correct.
So you build a championship team successfully through a really good draft.
Right. Just take Green Bay right now, right? Green Bay's got a hard decision.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers wants $50 million. Devontae Adams wants $30 million. That's it. You can't. You can't even put a whole team together with that.
They're screwed.
They're screwed. Yeah.
Where's Rodgers go? Where's he going? You think?
I think Rodgers stays in Green Bay, and I think Adams walks.
He won't go. He'll take his ball and go home.
You think so?
He's not going to Green Bay without Devontae Adams.
Maybe they franchise Adams then. All right. Yeah, that's coming up soon.
That whole franchise tag is.
They got to franchise them, right?
Yeah.
So we were talking about before the show with the combine. Brad, what is the Wonderlic test?
Wonderlic test is a kind of a common sense generalization of your memorization, like adding, subtraction, processing a word, a sequence, like a paragraph of words, reticulate.
Give me an example. Can you give me an example of a Wonderlic?
Sally went to the store with a $5 bill, and she bought a loaf of bread, a gallon of milk, and a loaf of bread for $1, a gallon of milk for $2, and a piece of candy for $0.25. How much change did Charlie have after that?
Right.
Okay. Things of that nature to kind of test your knowledge. It'd be equivalent to like it's not SAT score or ACT like getting into college, but it's more of a generalization, common sense Wonderlic to define if you can process information.
Now, let me ask you a question, Brad. There's a notion, all right, and I don't know how politically correct this is, but there is a notion that the Wonderlic test really only applies to certain positions on the field. Mainly your Mike linebacker, your quarterback, and your center.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you hold that truth, or is that just kind of going by the wayside?
Well, no. Well, the reason that it pertains to the positions you mentioned is that there's more cerebral position. Like football, people have no idea the thinking that goes on playing in the NFL schematic-wise. They have no clue, because of what's happening in the chess game and how complicated it's gotten. So there's positions that they want to know, are you able to read and look at a playbook and react and retain that? And that's the quarterback, that's the fullback, that's the Mike linebacker, that's your strong safety, that's your center calling the plays. So are these guys able to retain that and to be able to be a captain on the team to do that? And some student athletes aren't able to do that.
Right.
And if you're not able to do that, you better be so far advanced of that athlete that we talked about, the athleticism, to overcompensate for that.
Okay.
How'd you do on the Wonderlic test, Brad?
I did okay. I forget what I scored. I should look that up. But that was important. I was always
Were you a Mike linebacker?
I was a Mike,
you made the calls?
Yeah, I was a Mike. I played a little bit of Will in New York, but I was a Mike. Because I was so when I came out, I was, back then they wanted the Mike linebacker 6'4", 6'5". I was 6'1", 245, and, ran good. And now I'd be perfect now, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what they all are.
You got to get sidelines to sidelines now. Is more important.
I was just unfortunately I was just 25 years born too soon, right? Now the guys make money. So
Bryce Blackwell, always a solid fan. What's up, Bryce? He likes the combine on certain levels, but then it sucks because teams overdraft and make mistakes.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, I saw the one guy, the stud from Oregon. He says, I'm not doing it. He ran for it, and he's not doing any of the drills.
Correct.
Yeah. So
because they go to their pro day where they control the environment and they're comfortable.
Exactly. Like I said, because back then when I went, I ran a 4.78 or something like that. In my pro day, I was a 4.55 because of the environment, the turf. The turf side is completely different.
Yeah, and you get the hometown discount on the stopwatch, maybe a little bit.
Well, all the pro guys are they take their own time. But then another thing, then the quarterbacks are throwing the guys they've never thrown to.
Correct. That's what I was just about to say.
The timing it sucks for the quarterbacks. They're like, I don't know who this guy, and so sometimes they look like they don't look good.
I was just about to say that we all put in quarterback wide receiver relationship. The chemistry is so important. The timing is so important. Yep. And now you're going to really dictate and I'm not going to say make sure that these guys are determined on this combine, but they really is. This is a factor, and you're putting them in a bad situation because they have no timing with these wide receivers or no chemistry with them.
Did any of these quarterbacks even throw at the combine? I can't stand I don't spend time watching.
Yeah, they threw. Yeah, it depends if you're like that top, the kid from Liberty threw.
Correct. It depends. That kid threw 60 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking going into this draft, who's your best quarterback? To me, Willis just went. Yeah, he's the number one quarterback in this draft right now.
So now he's going to go in the top 5.
I do. I worry about. He went to Liberty.
Correct.
The teams that he played, the level, it's almost the same thing coming. The South Dakota State, the Division I AA. I mean, is he ready for the prime time? I don't know. I mean, athleticism, he's off the chart.
That's what it is, right? And you have coaches now GMs now, like we were just talking about earlier, who say, hey, this guy has all the measurables. He has all the features that we're looking for. Now it's on the coaching staff to coach him up and to make him a player.
Well, I think he's a guy that would be good sitting behind somebody for a couple of years, a year, 2 years, but if you're going to move up in the first round to do that, do you have the time or luxury to sit him for a year?
Right. No. I think he's going to be a plug and play guy.
That would drive me nuts. Like, I can't pick it's such a now league.
Yeah, it
is. And, you have 5 years to figure out if this especially at the quarterback position. Yeah, you get the extra year if you take him in the first round. But, if you identify him as the guy and you pick him and then he does good, you're going to have to give him, by the time 5 years from now, that salary is going to be crazy.
It's nuts.
It's going to be crazy. These guys are going to be making $200 million in a hard cap league.
Right. Yeah, and the cap's got to go up. That's where, the owners aren't – listen, the owners are smart. They've got to sit and say, guys, hey, listen, they're sitting – we're hurting ourselves because these guys we draft well – and we got to move the cap up because otherwise we're not going to be having any other players around them to support them.
So just to finish my point there, you got you're going to waste 2 of those 5 years grooming a guy.
No,
you can't.
I can't do that. I can't do
that.
Not
in the first round.
No,
that's why I look at that's why I look at San Francisco, and I'm like you have to play Trey Lance this year.
Trey Lance has got to be the guy.
Have to.
Yeah,
he has. Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you think that Jimmy Garoppolo is better or not.
Or if Lance is ready,
then you shouldn't have done what you did and gotten Trey Lance. You boxed yourself in.
Yep. Well, see, there's the problem. So it depends, what the coaches say. If I want to, cook the meal, I want to go out and buy the ingredients or whatever Parcells said. So there's a problem between John Lynch and they better be on the same page because if he's not ready, then oh shit, you guys made a mistake.
Right, and that's the coach and GM factor that have to be together because as a coach, I don't want to play a guy who's not ready, whether you want me to play him or not, because if the team fails, I get fired.
Yep.
Did you see the Niners hired former Monday Night Football analyst Brian Greasy as their quarterback coach?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I thought it was interesting.
Oh, wow.
I think he's a great mind. I always enjoyed listening to him talk, and he seems like a very
I just thought it was interesting.
Guy.
I thought it was interesting that they went outside the league to get a quarterback coach to help this young kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's not going to work. I thought it was interesting.
What do you think of the three of them in the booth together? I mean, they were.
I liked them.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Lewis, who was it? Tessitore.
It was
Riddick and Greasy. I liked it. Yeah. Who were the Jabron crew they had before that when they had Booger McFarland driving around on that cart? He was on the field. He was on that stupid cart. He was getting in everybody's way. These people paid $8,000 to sit in the front row of the seats, and they got to stare at.
And then you saw what
Booger McFarland's bald head for 4 hours.
Yeah. And look at Booger. When he did a couple of games, and you come out and his hands, his fingers are all sideways and stuff. Yeah.
Like Brian Baldinger.
Baldy's like that.
Baldy's like that.
Baldy's all over the place.
Brad, what do you make of Sky Moore, the Eagles? They had him in for a visit. I read an article online about it. Ran a really good 40 for if you like that, great. I don't really care, but they bring him in and they played rock paper scissors with him, and they had him shoot. They had him shoot five foul shots. What do you make of all that? Is that just is that just trying to get the honest truth out of them by keeping them loose? Did you have to do any of that? Did you have to do any of that stuff?
So I was asked some provocative questions, but my take on that is, he did scissors, paper, rock, and then that was the big talk in Philly, about shooting Nerf baskets. My take on that depends how I would react to that. If he asked me to do that, I'd say, what? I'd grab the ball and then I'd back him down and slam him in the slam over and say, and then next question. I mean, it's kind of silly and stupid. He's trying to be cutting edge and this. I mean,
it's not just our guy.
A lot of people are doing it.
Read about this stuff all over the league.
Yeah, it's. I think it's the new generation is trying to get that edge or. like
I would love to know what they're trying to get out of it, though.
Like,
what's the final process?
Are you trying to be like, yo, if we pick you, like, it's going to be cool, it's going to be fun, and we're going to be good? Like, are we going with that?
Are they exactly? Are they trying to be hip? Or are they trying to get? Are they because you want to see? You're going to be the franchise of my team. I'm going to pay you a lot of money. You're going to be thrown in different situations that are going to come up. How are you going to react to it? Did this guy take the ball and or did he F him? What would you do? How's he going to react? But the way they do the process, I'm not a big fan on it.
But like if Sky Moore comes in and shoots 5 foul shots and airballs them all.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not picking a guy who's airballing foul shot, right?
I don't know. Why?
No, I mean,
really? I mean, come on.
Like, are you trying to establish like a baseline of athleticism?
No,
that can't be. I think it's more of how he reacts to the question.
Yes, it's strictly reaction.
So I'm just going
how you conduct yourself as a man. And present yourself.
Correct.
That's all. It has nothing to do with athleticism.
And like you said, like Brad, like I get the notion for it. Maybe I hate the process of it.
Yeah, the process is they're looking for that edge, or
correct.
And guess what they did? We're talking about it right now. Everybody's talking about it.
Right.
They accomplished what they. There's no bad thing of bad press. I mean, we're talking about it.
Yep.
So Greg Malakovic, he disagrees to the poll.
Ooh.
So
okay.
What's he say?
So who do you want, Greg?
He disagrees to the poll. So the Eagles, what did I make the poll again? You believe the Eagles will not be in the market for a QB. So he disagrees, so they will be.
Right.
Look,
who do you want?
I want Russell Wilson. A lot of people want Russell Wilson. He's really good. But, I mean, I hope it happens, but I'm kind of preparing myself for it not
didn't
to
Washington
happen.
just offer them a pretty nice package that they outright just turned down? No negotiations or nothing?
I mean, we'll see.
So that's a rumor.
The question is, so we talk about this. It's a great topic to talk about. Is so you bring Russ in. Are we? You got to look at it like different steps. Okay. So who's in our conference? We bring Russ in, and then we're going to lose these amount of players, or we can't get the players we need.
Correct.
Right? So we win we'll beat the Giants. They stay. We'll beat the Washington right now. Is it set up? Okay. Cowboys will beat. Now who do we got to? Now we're win the conference. Now, in the AFC, NFC, who else out there are we going to compete with to get the Super Bowl? Is Russ the guy to do it, and then losing the other aspects around us, the other pieces?
Look,
I don't know.
But okay, I hear you. I get it. There's 2 types of teams in this league, especially in a hard cap league. You have the teams that have their franchise quarterback, and they're paying him a bunch of money, and the rest of the roster suffers.
Right.
Yep.
Or you have teams that are trying to develop a guy, like the Eagles are with Jalen Hurts. Right. And so I guess there's 3 teams. And then you have the teams that are kind of stuck in purgatory with like journeyman guys like Matt Ryan because he's old, or Kirk Cousins because he can't win a big game. No one knows how Kyler Murray's going to turn out right now.
So you're right. So let's put the whole league in 3
I got to be in attack mode. I got to be in attack mode right now, Brad, because I see Aaron Rodgers probably not going back to Green Bay. I'd be shocked if he plays football in Green Bay next year. I'd be shocked. You have Brady retired, for now at least. You've heard my conspiracy theory on that. I think Tom Brady's going to be the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next year. But for now, he's retired. So now, what, I got to be Matt Stafford and Dak Prescott? Okay, give me Russ.
But so you made a good point. So you got 3 buckets you have, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have – I don't think they're aggressive with the 3 first-round picks to grow up, and I don't think there's a franchise guy to move up to be one of the franchise guys.
That I agree with.
Right. Okay, yes. So take that off the equation. So now we look at we have a Jalen here, okay? And with 3 first-round draft choices in 2 seconds. Okay, that's one option. Build around, and then the other one is you get a journeyman. But what do you get? What do you trade for that to get that journeyman quarter? We have them. So what do you do?
No, I mean I wouldn't call Jalen Hurts a journeyman.
Well, you also have Gardner Minshew behind him too. I mean
he's what he is. He's gonna
right.
I forgot about Gardner.
Yeah, I mean you got Gardner Minshew behind him. So I mean, listen, to me, I just look at the history, right? Let's go back and look at past winners of the Super Bowl. Okay,
yeah.
You look at the Rams this year. They were a well-constructed team. Who just said I need a quarterback.
Yeah,
went and got them. All right,
yes.
But a well-constructed team. Tampa Bay, same thing. Well-constructed team who then said, I need a quarterback. Let's get rid of Jameis. Let's go get Brady.
Yes.
They did it. Won a Super Bowl.
But
and then you got the Chiefs, right? On a rookie deal. Franchise quarterback on a rookie deal.
Hall of Fame quarterback.
The Seahawks with Russ when he won, rookie deal. Like you can go back and look at that. You're either a fully constructed team and a quarterback away, or you're a franchise quarterback on a rookie deal. Right?
So which one? So that's none of ours.
That's none of us. That's what I'm saying.
So what are we doing about it? That's the smartest thing you've said in the history of the whole rant booth, John. So what are we going to do about it? Everyone just wants to string this guy along and think he's going to turn into Josh Allen.
There's only one answer.
We just solved the problem.
There's only one answer.
What is it?
There's only one answer.
Jalen Hurts. What's the problem?
Build the roster. You can't draft a quarterback, right? We can't draft a guy who's going to be on the rookie deal because we don't think there is one out there. So what do? You build the roster
until that rookie the quarterback comes up.
We just went through it. You told me I'm smart, and now you're saying you don't agree.
But I don't. But like the days, like I don't think you can win. First off, I still maintain that the roster in Philadelphia isn't as bare as the Philadelphia fans are making it out to be.
It's very bare.
I disagree. I disagree.
Let me throw a little caveat there. And I know the league has changed, but you used to win with good defense and run the ball. I mean, without this, when you look at some of the journeyman quarterbacks that were out there, that won the Super Bowl.
Correct.
But
that we know that doesn't happen anymore.
No.
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be sunny. I don't know what happened.
Miserable. Yeah, it's starting to come down now.
The sea is angry. It's wet. I don't know what happened.
Any surfers out there?
No, I don't see any surfers. They usually go down to 5th Street, though, to surf.
But maybe so you just solved the problem, Johnny.
Correct. Right.
So what do we do?
What did he solve?
You have two categories to winning a Super Bowl. Right? Option one, we cannot do. We cannot get a franchise quarterback on a rookie deal. All right, we all agree that there's not one in this draft. Okay. Now the other option is to build the roster. Maybe in 1 year, maybe in 2 years, you go and get the stud quarterback in free agency via trade or whatever to then put you over the top.
You better
here's
right?
what they say, and they'll never come out publicly and say it because you don't want to do it. If I'm Howie and Jeffrey, I'm going, listen, guys, same thing. I'm Howie Roseman for 5 minutes. I said, listen, we got all this draft. I said, we're not ready to do it. Let's go out and build the team. Like I said, let's go out and get studs defensively. And maybe we catch lightning in a bottle and people get hurt. Dak gets hurt again or something happens. But let's just build it until that guy comes year, 2 years.
Until we feel like we're there.
And then let's make the big splash.
Yes.
But then you're going to be – but you have guys, proven franchise guys available now. I've never seen it.
Yeah, who? I mean –
Watson and Wilson.
Wilson's not available for Philadelphia.
Wilson's not going to be and Watson he's a bad dude, man. You don't want to bring him in.
I'm in the same boat.
I think the baggage and the that would come along with it,
the baggage alone sets you back 2 years.
It just ain't worth it. And Jeffrey is too, and his ex-wife, and they're too conscious of social issues, and no way they would allow that to happen. No way.
I mean, they signed Michael Vick. Michael Vick buried dogs in his backyard. They signed him.
Yeah.
Michael Vick also did his time too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So
Deshaun Watson hasn't even been
found
guilty of hasn't even been not convicted of a crime. He hasn't been charged with a crime yet. It's been months and months and months and months of this. So either charge the guy or let him live his life. Okay?
Exactly.
And if he did stuff wrong, he should go to jail and be punished.
Right.
But if he's just a creep, he can be on my football team all day. If he's a felon, he should go to jail. I'll deal with a creep.
Yeah.
If you're going to throw for 4,000 yards and 50 touchdowns, you can be a creep all day long here in Philadelphia. And you can have all my draft picks.
Yeah.
I still, but I mean, you look at the roster.
Most of these guys aren't choir boys.
So what you guys are trying to tell me is that you take the roster, the draft capital this year.
Yes.
You build up the team, and then you get a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart.
Okay, what if you miss? What if you miss on 2 of the 3 first?
If you miss, then you're in the same boat because if you trade it for Russ or anyone else, I don't think you're winning anyway, right?
But if you trade 15 and 16 for Russell Wilson, you still have the regular amount of draft picks. You're just trading your extra draft picks for a proven quarterback.
So we have that extra one with Carson. So I don't know if you move if there's someone you really
2
covet,
extra ones.
If you really covet somebody, you go up and move and get them. But
if you guys are telling me that we need to fill out this roster because the cupboard's bare, which by the way, for the billionth, quadrillionth time, I don't buy. I think that saying that this roster is super bare is just the Negadelphia and everyone trying to talk. It's a hard cap league. Everyone has weaknesses.
Correct.
You have a great offensive line. You have a great tight end.
But again,
you have a great group of running
back
backs.
to history. Just look at history, Rob. Where was the weakness in Tampa Bay when they won? I don't know one. Where was the weakness in the Rams when they won one this year? I didn't see one.
The 2 factors is Tampa had a tremendous defense. They ran the ball. Defense on both sides.
Because
of the
Rams, they built their roster.
They built the roster, and then they say, you know what? You know what they said? Oh, shit, we're ready to win right now. Let's go out and get that. Make a move.
Let's take it to another factor, right? You build a roster, and what does that going to do when you're a quarterback away? Now it's going to entice the big quarterbacks like Russ, like Brady, like Stafford to come to finish it off.
Yep.
Right? Right now, we don't have that. We don't have that wow factor of a roster where Russ is saying, hey, man, if I played there, we win. Yeah. Right? Like Tampa Bay had that with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's licking his chops saying, if I can get to Tampa, we will win.
I don't know.
See, I don't know if we're like when I was, it was like everyone wanted to play for Eddie DeBartolo. Saying there were some organizations that you wanted to go to.
That's true. Right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm not in the know, and I'll try to find out before next show, like to say, hey, what do the guys really think about Philly? Like the environment, the facilities, just the overall feeling. And
the
I don't
fans
know
to me puts it over.
But some people love the fans.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see when you love them when they turn on you.
Guys like, oh, I love Philly. They're passionate. They're educated. They're passionate. They're good fans.
They're passionate until they turn on you. Because we will turn on you.
No, in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
Well, we turn on you if you're a crumb and you underperform, and then you blame everyone except beside him.
Underperform. If you come out and bring your work pail, your
that's true.
lunchbox, and you try and
we'll love
effort,
you.
They'll love you. They love you here.
The guys we turn on is if you go over one of these great mirrors here and look at your hat, and you're failing and you're not performing well,
right?
And you can't look in the mirror and point at yourself and say it's my fault, and you want to point
that's
everywhere
true.
else.
Yeah.
That we don't like.
Yeah, we don't like that. We don't like the guys doing blaming someone else or not taking accountability for them.
Right. What we got there?
The problem with building a team is the pieces of a team are always changing. You build the team for this season. So Bob wants to build a team for next year. And then worry about 2023 next offseason.
Correct, and that's where I'm at.
That's where we're at.
Right? Howie has done a good job to put himself in this situation where he can get 3 or 4 guys.
It sounds like Bob's on my team.
I think he is on your team, but I'm trying to sway him here.
Bob's birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday,
Bob. How old is Bob?
I know. Oh,
how old's Bob?
You put him on the spot.
He's a good friend of mine.
What do you think?
I hope it's not 70.
I
think it might be 69.
The big
7-0.
I'll figure it out right now.
No.
But I don't need to text him.
To his point, right? Howie Roseman did a great job of building up 3 first-rounders where we have 5 years control.
69, I was right.
And if we hit on just 2 of them, let's say we take a corner and a linebacker or a DN and a linebacker, and they hit, that changes your defense for 5 years.
If they're good.
That's what I said. You hit on them, right? You don't have to go 3 for 3. If you go 2 for 3 on defense and you hit on them, it changes your defense for 5 full years. Now you could get plug-and-play guys, 1-year deal guys to fill out the rest of that defense, and then you could go get the quarterback if need be down the future.
Agreed. And it gets down to staying healthy and catching lightning in the bottle and, a lot of variables. So,
like you said, the other teams in your division, the other teams in your conference, your schedule, the strength of your schedule.
Everything. Yeah. You got to be lucky.
Right.
Be lucky,
And that's what, I think we're all in agreement. That's kind of what we were this year, right? Like, I think we were just kind of lucky to make the playoffs this year.
And Brad, you can speak to this. And I've had players, like we've interviewed guys on the station. I've interviewed guys at other stations. I've been in locker rooms before. Like, the difference in talent, like, everybody's good.
Right.
Everybody's a freak, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you have luck and you have coaching. Are the X factors. Is that fair? Is that fair to say?
Luck in coaching. I say luck
and like injuries.
Yeah,
like,
so I'll categorize luck as the fumble that bounces back to you.
Correct.
Yeah, like the tuck rule.
The tuck rule was the big one. Yeah.
Did you watch that 30 for 30 yet?
The tuck rule. Yeah, stuff like that.
Did you watch that one?
I did. Yeah.
By far my favorite one ever. It changed the whole history of the game.
Everything.
Yeah.
It changed the rule.
Yep.
Which the Raiders got screwed.
100% they did. Yeah.
And Brady goes on, and then Gruden gets traded, and now Gruden's into the abyss because he's a racist
It was
idiot.
great what Brady said about it. He said literally, if that play never happened, if they didn't reverse that, they go back to Bledsoe next year, and I'm never heard of.
ESPN Plus, you can watch it.
Yep.
You can watch it whenever you want. It's the tuck rule, 30 for 30.
Isn't it amazing how one play, one microcosm like that play, or Drew Bledsoe, breaking his shoulder, one play we never hear Tom Brady.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what I say all the time. And people laugh. I at the golf tournaments, we drinking martinis and stuff. Like the difference between all pro playing 10 years, 12 years in the league and selling insurance is it's like so close.
Correct.
Like you got to get lucky. You got to break someone in front of you gets hurt. You get on film. You're at the right place, right time. A good good coaching.
So the draft's right around the corner, and we're talking draft. What's the most important fact to me? The most important factor getting drafted in the NFL is where you go.
Yeah, where you go.
I think that's more important than how high you go. Like, based on your talent.
No, because there's the draft pick bias. We see it all the time.
Yeah. I'll give you the
the second round guy is going to get way more chances than a sixth round guy.
Okay. Yeah. So two things, because you got signing bonus and tied in. So sometimes like you'll see a guy, if you're drafted 1 through maybe 5 or 6, they're going to have a signing bonus and they don't want to cut you because they got money invested.
Correct.
In you.
Okay.
So they're going to give you more looks than a free agent. But free agents, you can go where where there's less guys in your position. So I'd rather be a free agent if you're going to, not going to get a shot, and I can go where I want to go where there's less competition at Mike linebacker or tight ends or whatnot.
Okay.
So,
all right. Yeah, I'm always more of, if I'm a player, I would rather get drafted into a good situation than get drafted into a higher pick to make more money.
Well, the money gives you longevity because you're not
they won't cut you.
Yeah, your first 5, 6 round 4, 5, 6. They're not going to cut you. You're at least going
to make the team.
You're going to make the team and get your 3-year contract unless you're a complete dud.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to see a mock draft here.
Oh, there's tons of mock drafts. I saw one. I think Bucky came out with his first mock draft last week. And he had at 15 Hamilton falling to us at 15, and that, man, when I saw that, I did
only
dance.
Done one.
So this one is the CBS. They got cornerback from Washington State. Trent
I'm trying to
Duffy.
Duffy.
And then at 16, I like this. This is the kid from David Ocho from Michigan, the 9 technique.
Yeah,
he's a stud.
I'm a big fan of him.
He's kicking ass at the combine.
He's raw.
I'm looking for one that's like post combine. Because the combine's over, right?
No,
it's
still
going
on.
No. Well, today's over, right?
Or tonight linebackers and D linemen are position drills.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess this is. So I'm looking at Bucky's right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hamilton, Olave.
Hamilton.
Olave ran a 4.29.
Oh, I love. He's the wide receiver.
Everybody's freaking out. Like, cool. I don't care. Good for him. He's gonna get paid. And then Jermaine Johnson, Florida State. DN. He dominated the Senior Bowl, so I like that.
Yeah.
So the coaches take more stock in practice, how they practice, and how you're interacting. And the Senior Bowl was great because you get guys like smaller schools will go up against guys from the SEC and the Big Ten and go against the competition. So that's why they love that. And then they back it up with the combine, their measurables and their medical. The big thing is the medical. Everyone comes together, their medical, and make sure they check out medically.
I know I'm way past this now, and I probably should have asked back then, but the Senior Bowl, how does that work coaching-wise? Does every team get a coach into that?
No, it's the two coaching staffs of the losing team.
Championship.
Their whole coaching staff goes, and then every regional scout is there. Of the 30 other teams.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're all represented there.
I think it was the Jets and the Lions this year.
Jets and Lions were the head coaches?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're getting. So I played in the Japan Bowl and then the Senior Bowl. So you're getting coached by pro coaches.
Coaches. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know how that officially worked.
What's the Japan Bowl?
Japan Bowl was great. It was the East-West Japan Bowl. We spent 10 days in Tokyo, which was great. Yeah.
Did they and you play American? They loved an actual game.
We're talking 1990. We played an actual football game. Yeah. It was packed, like 80,000 Japanese fans. It was crazy.
Where was it? The Tokyo Dome?
Yeah. It was
wow.
It was
you played in the Tokyo Dome?
Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, it was all paid, all expenses paid, and it was crazy because guys, fellow Iowa guys, go before. It was it was known back then as fun game. Like it was all the parade All-Americans and stuff. So I knew what to expect. So I brought 2 Hawkeye helmets over. I brought extra stuff because they love that stuff. So we sold, all the guys would sell the stuff and brought like a couple dozen jeans. They didn't have Levi jeans and stuff.
They don't have jeans in Japan?
No, they were real expensive back then. Really? Yeah, it was crazy.
What do they wear? Khakis?
I don't know what it was back then. We're talking 1989. They didn't have Levi or something. My equipment goes, Brad, just take this bag over with you along. And it was extra helmets and it was fun.
Well, there you go. Economic times are
tough.
Man. You just take a bunch of jeans over to Japan and you make a killing.
Make a year's salary.
Yeah, make a killing.
Yeah, but those games were always fun.
Right?
I played. Yeah. It was the East-West game, so it was divided by the Mississippi River. So I was on the West team, and playing from guys with USC, UCLA, Oregon, from A&M to Iowa State. I mean, it was fun. That was a fun game.
You want
let's go on to the Sixers. Good draft talk.
Go on the Sixers talk here.
Good draft talk. Good combine talk. Well, obviously we're barreling towards the draft. We're barreling towards the schedule release, and then we're barreling towards mini camps and training camp, and then all of a sudden we're going to be kicking the ball off in September. It's crazy how the NFL has marketed itself into the giant it has. But
there's never a day off.
Like to kind of circle back, we were talking about the MLB, but look at golf.
Golf's the same way.
Golf now has a big tournament. It's gonna start with the players. In April, parlayed into the Masters, the PGA, the U.S. Open, the Open Championship, then the FedEx Cup playoffs.
Right.
And the winner gets $10 million, $15 million. What it is.
And they understand the marketing.
And they do a wraparound season, so it never stops.
Exactly. And that's why the NFL is unbelievable. They own the market, sports market.
They own 3 days. It's crazy. But yeah, let's move on to some Sixers. And look, and this is going to sound strange coming from me because I'm Mr. Negative when it comes to Sixers. People tell me on Facebook because I hated the process, but now I'm over it because they have James Harden, and
so now the process is complete.
By this, well, no, you got to win a championship for the process to be complete.
All right.
And I don't know if they're going to win a championship this year. I don't.
They got a shot.
They better.
They have a legitimate shot. They have the best shot they have had in 4 years. But anyone who cares that James Harden didn't play last night, stop it. Yeah. Stop it. Please stop it.
Well, the only people that cared is if they took the
if you're betting on it.
If you took the 5.5 points, they cared.
I know. Well, I had him the first 3-4 games. Then I didn't have time to get my bet in against the Cavs, and they didn't cover. And I didn't bet last night because Harden didn't play.
Right. Yeah, it was, to me, if you were going to rest a guy, Miami's the perfect game to rest them, right? Yeah. They're the number 1 seed. They're the team that everyone thinks is going to be, good playoff team.
I didn't even really watch last night, so I can't really speak to the game. I don't really care. I watched UFC last night. I know you watched UFC last night. Chaos Covington with the monster win.
But you know what? The Sixers are cool because they're playing together, and they look like they've been playing together for 6 months.
Yeah, you said that last.
Fun basketball.
It's fun basketball. Yeah, it is.
But and I also want to tell the fans to can we cut Tobias Harris a break, please? I understand he makes a lot of money, but you get 30 from Tyrese consistently now. You get James Harden, he's going to give you 30. Joe's going to get you 30. You're going to get 75 between those three. What do you want? You want Tobias to get 32?
It's impossible for that to happen.
It's not Steph versus LeBron in the All-Star game or Team Durant versus whatever they do in the All-Star game now. It's not going to be – they're not going to score 180 points. There's only one basketball, folks.
Yeah, it's not physically enough time.
It's not physical possibly, yeah.
And then if you have Niang, Niang against the Cavs, you have 5 threes. And Tobias still had 15 points.
Right.
Look, Tobias, he's a little lost right now. He's a player that's in transition. He needs to figure out his role and how he can help this team in the next 20 games so he can be an asset in the playoffs. Tobias Harris is a good basketball player.
Very good basketball player.
Is he worth $180 million? No. Well, if he's the best player in your team, are you going to win a championship? No.
Right.
But he's going to figure it out.
But that's where Doc's got to come in and say, have a conversation with him.
Tobias Harris as your 4th option.
No other team has
Cover up the salary?
Yeah. No other team has that.
That's got to be the best 4th option in the whole league.
Heads and shoulders better than anyone else has, yes.
So, and then some people are just never happy. Look, I was unhappy with the Sixers for a while. I didn't like the process. I didn't like it. I don't like losing on purpose. I think it sends a bad message. I think it's bad for the sport. I think it's bad for the city. I think it's bad for the league, and I thought it was a joke.
Right.
But, even I'm super excited to watch the Sixers play every night.
It's exciting for the city.
It's exciting for the city, yeah.
And then you look at it now, from a competition standpoint, I want James Harden to play last night because I want to see how I stack up with what's a team that in the Heat that's going to be in the mix here in the East. They're pretty good. They have Bam, they have Jimmy Butler, they have Tyler Hero. They have a lot of good players. They have a great coach. So, from a competitive standpoint, yeah, I want to see James Harden play so I see how they stack up against the Miami Heat so I can adjust my rotations. I want to see them tip their hand for a potential playoff series. But you know what? You're going to get a test. I think it's tomorrow. Today's Sunday. They're playing the Bulls, I think.
Yep.
There's a test right there. The Bulls are a really good basketball team, too.
That will be a test, yeah. And to the Miami thing, I don't know how the coaching staffs or this team looks at Miami. Maybe they don't think they're that big of a threat to where we don't need to show our hand to them, and it would be a perfect day to rest Harden. And maybe tomorrow they could say the same thing. It could be a perfect day to rest Joe. Right? I don't know.
I think Doc they look at it prior to that and say, listen, are we going to make a statement in Miami and Harden's playing, or are we going to rest, like you said, not show everything, and then when it means something, then we'll go, then we'll go after him.
Right.
So, and that's what they did.
There's two thoughts to that, and as fans, we need to understand that.
I think that you want to what do they call it? Hamstring management. Something ridiculous. I'll bite, but I need these guys to play.
Right.
I know it looks like it's all peaches and cream right now, but you still have to play, especially against good basketball teams. Because, they're just going to lace up, against the Knicks. This team's too talented. They're not going to lose to the Knicks.
No, they won't lose to the Knicks.
They're just going to have to lace up the kicks and show up to the court on time, and they're going to win that game and cover the spread and win by double digits and look good doing it. I need to see them play against a team that's going to hit you in the mouth like Chicago and Miami. So, from that standpoint, I'm disappointed James Harden didn't play, but I don't think the Heat can beat the Sixers 4 out of 7.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think Chicago can either.
Neither do I.
Boston seems to never lose anymore.
Boston is the hottest team in basketball right now. They're just on fire. They don't miss.
And Milwaukee's the champ, so I'll put some respect on that. But like Brooklyn, I'm not worried about Brooklyn. Now here you go.
Basically,
here you go.
They'll be Milwaukee in the league championship.
That's what I think.
Philly, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, yeah.
Let me look at these standings.
Milwaukee, and then just gearing up for that series.
Correct. Yeah, I mean that's what everyone's is thinking. Whoever wins that is the favorites to come out of the East.
Yep.
See LeBron drop. Hey, Ralphie, you back there?
Going to get on him about his boy?
No.
Ron, how about that?
Yeah, you see him drop 56 last night on the Warriors.
Sir.
Ralphie boy.
I wouldn't. And Ralphie, right? He's a Lakers fan from Delta for whatever reason.
We all know,
but we love him.
How about the Jerry Buss?
He does a great job.
Yeah, does he? Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't put it past the Lakes out there, Ralphie, to LeBron put the team on his back and maybe win a playoff series.
Hopefully get out of the
He's going to have to. It's the only way they're going to win one.
I think if they can get up, well, it's going to be tough because you got to avoid the Warriors and the Suns.
Yeah. It looks like you're going to see one of them in the first round.
And how about Memphis right now with Morant? How good's that guy?
Real good team, yeah.
But, I mean, are the Sixers better than, like...
So we got, I mean, to me, I said it the whole time, Brooklyn is my bugaboo, who I think is going to be a tough out for us.
Can you try and explain this to me again? What is that?
What is going on?
Are we good?
What's that?
We got a little
feedback.
static.
We'll fight through it. Now, try and explain this to me again. Why you and other people out there are worried about Ben Simmons not going to play a game. If DraftKings or BetUSA or whoever came out with a line, Ben Simmons over/under for games played in 2022 was a half, I'd put $25,000 on the under and not lose an ounce of sleep over. This guy ain't playing.
I agree. He might not play.
How do you think the Brooklyn Nets are going to beat the Sixers without Ben Simmons?
I'm never betting against Kevin Durant, and that's simple. I'm not betting against Kevin Durant. I mean, to me, he's the best player offensively right now, and I think that he just will in the playoffs and big game moments.
But
he's the guy.
He missed 127 games in the last 3 years.
Okay, he did last year.
Yeah.
Again, he was a toenail away from having the ring.
And then how about our boy over here? He bought the Rutgers hat. He pointed out that the play-in tournament's in Toronto, so Kyrie Irving, if the Nets are in that play-in tournament, Kyrie Irving
can't play.
That's Canada rules.
Correct.
And they're
can you imagine?
They shut it down if you're not vaccinated.
Right.
You're done.
Right.
You can't do anything. You can't leave your house, I think.
Right.
It's crazy. But so Kevin Durant, I mean, like, there's good teams in the East. There's good teams at the bottom of this East.
Well, they're gonna, not good teams.
Let me see the standings.
They're gonna take you to Game 7, and you have to use all your energy.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Right. If we end up seeing Brooklyn in round 1, round 2 against Miami or Milwaukee, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
Because they will push you to 7.
It's the playoffs. It's going to be tough.
I get that. I'm still on the notion of I love Joel Embiid. Don't get me wrong. The absolute best player in the world right now.
Does he win MVP?
Yeah. He's your MVP. He's MVP. Head and shoulders. He should win MVP. I still don't trust him in the fourth quarter of Game 6. I just can't. I don't trust him.
You don't have to. You have James Harden.
Okay. All right. And so there it is. You're saying you have James Harden. I'm saying I got Kevin Durant. I'm taking Kevin Durant.
But you can't you have the high-low combination.
All right. I get Joel Embiid in the fourth quarter.
If you want to double the perimeter, against, and you say the same thing for the Nets. Look, if you give me a politics-free, no mandate, and Kyrie can play in every game,
right,
we'll talk about the Nets.
Well, that sounds like what it is going to be in America. All right, he could play anywhere, anytime now.
That's great.
He's
playing tournaments in Canada.
Well, if it is in Canada. You don't know that where they're going to end up yet. Still, 20 games left in the season? 15 games left in the season?
Okay. I just don't. You look at the way this team's gelled in a short period of time, and you look at the combination of Joe and Harden, and not that Kyrie, because Kyrie and Durant, like, they fit together. Everybody fits with Durant, first of all, because he is good. I can't say he's not. I'm not going to sit here and insult him and say he's not good. He's a terrific basketball player.
Right.
Everybody fits with him. But, like, you have just, I don't know, like, I can't buy it. Because, like, Drummond is showing his colors.
Drummond's been a good player.
He's okay.
Right.
Right? And you get Seth, he hit a bunch of threes. First off, everybody's freaking out. Oh, my God, I can't believe we gave too much in. I can't believe we traded him. James Harden better be this. Like, stop it. And you give 2 first-round picks up.
The trade is great. Listen, we got James Harden. You couldn't ask for any more. But we are now a legitimate contender.
That's all you need.
I'm with you. I agree with you. I do.
That's the missing piece. What did we say? Like we talked about on this show, I've talked about with everyone. You can't win a championship in the NBA if you don't have a go-getter on the perimeter.
Right.
Yep.
Now you got one.
I think they have everything they need to at least get to the finals.
Correct.
So,
I can't commit to the NBA finals yet.
No?
The Sixers.
Okay.
I can commit to the Eastern Conference Finals, a place they haven't sniffed since that stupid process started by Scam Hinkie. But, I mean, I don't know. I just look at Milwaukee and, like, Giannis and their championship pedigree, and, like, until I see the champ die.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's
but,
true.
Like, I love, like, it's so much fun. It's so
definitely
much fun
basketball to watch. I haven't been to a game yet with Harden there, and I cannot wait to go. I might try to go Monday.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, I might try to go tomorrow.
I went out to the hockey game last Tuesday.
I saw you, yeah.
It was half empty.
Yeah.
I think half empty would be a compliment based on the pictures I saw.
That's what it was a compliment. I'm like, this is terrible.
It's sad, isn't it?
The product is so bad.
You know what? And you know what? The only thing I can say to that, folks, we're transitioning to a little Flyers talk here. The trade deadline's tomorrow, I think. I think we're going to be, I'm fairly certain, I got to check my text message after the show, right here on A2D Radio, 2 to 4, we're going to be doing a NHL trade deadline reaction show.
Yeah,
so if Claude Giroux gets traded tomorrow afternoon, just keep it locked here on A2D Radio. And you'll hear about it right here first.
Where's he go?
I hope he goes to Colorado.
Oh, my God. That McKinnon guy will score 85 goals.
I hope he goes to Colorado because I think they'll be head and shoulders the favorites to win it all.
I don't follow hockey like I do the 3 other major sports, and then college basketball is like Bay, if you will. But, like, if you put, like, Giroux on, like, the Oilers – with those 2 guys.
Well, they'd be a good team. They don't have goaltending. I don't know if they make a trade like that.
The Leafs?
But the Leafs, they're one that are rumored for him.
Matthews, I feel like he's lighting the lamp all the time.
Colorado's another one. Minnesota, you hear. There's a lot of teams that I think would love to have Giroux. He is going to be, by far, the number 1 piece in the trade market.
He's like the James Harden of the NHL, exactly. I feel like.
Yeah.
He's going to be the missing piece. Whoever gets G, I'm going to put a bet on him to win the cup.
Yeah, and that's a good bet, probably.
Because I like G. I don't understand why he got so much hate here in Philadelphia.
Because he didn't win.
I don't get it. Okay.
That's it.
I mean, the only time they put a goal scorer next to him.
I agree with you. I agree.
And he was better than Crosby at one point for a small stretch of time in that 09.
He dominated Crosby in the playoffs. Yeah,
he laid his punk ass out in the playoffs that one time, then scored a goal, went nuts. One of my favorite highlights of all time.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like the narrative on social media and Facebook. Like the Phillies have Bryce Harper, like the Sixers they have Joe and Harden, and the Eagles they have Hurts and Devontae Smith. A lot of people and the Flyers have Gritty.
Gritty. Yeah. We
an orange goon.
We have no one.
Yeah, what is Gritty?
He's an orange goon that is just the face of our franchise right now because our team just stinks.
It's sad.
Who's the face of the franchise? You go to all the games, right?
Yeah. I have season tickets and go to the games.
Does anybody do you sit there and watch oh my God, Joel Farabee's on the ice. Everybody stop. Joel Farabee's on the ice.
No, I mean,
I like the kid. He's a good player. He scores sometimes. He does some good things. But, if Joel Farabee's your best player, you're screwed.
Yeah, there's nobody on the ice for the Flyers I'm just
Couturier. I'm sick of
Couturier. I love Couturier. I think is going to be one of the best players that we have.
He's not even playing,
but he's
right
hurt.
Now.
Yeah, he's hurt.
I'm sick of Konechny.
Yeah, Konechny might be traded too. He might be one that's going tonight or tomorrow.
Wouldn't break my heart at all.
Nope.
So, are we looking at just dump? We're just.
I think it's going to be an all-out dump. Yeah, I mean, if you can move, you got Yandel, who I think could get traded. He'll be a nice little piece. It's a rental piece. Giroux, Konechny, Justin Braun. We got a lot of pieces that I think are going to end up being gone from this team.
But, what happened to all these promising guys that I kept hearing about for years and years? They just came to the NHL and flopped.
They did.
Morgan Frost, Lindblom.
Yeah,
Lindblom worked out.
Got hit with cancer.
But he's been back.
Yeah, I mean, are you ever the same after that? And then you had Konechny never panned out to what we thought.
But it's still, that's the luck factor of you
sports,
have this guy who's scoring 20 goals and then he's got leukemia the next day. That's the luck factor.
Yeah, he was leading our team in goals when he went down with it.
Is Carter Hart, is he any
Carter
good?
Hart's another one. Yeah, we don't really know about him now. There's question marks. Provorov, for me, I thought he was going to be a number one defenseman. It looks like that's far, far from the case.
Who's the guy we got from Buffalo? Ristolainen?
Ristolainen, yeah. We thought he was going to be a great pairing to go with Provi, and it hasn't worked. Listen, every move the Flyers have made, it just hasn't worked.
So, what's the problem?
Who's calling the shots?
Fletcher. Oh, we got all kinds of stuff.
Chuck Fletcher. Well, and then they did their State of the Union address, I guess it was a couple weeks ago now, and they just flat out insulted my intelligence with their statements. They're like, well, in November we were in the playoff race. Okay, Chuck, that's great. The season starts in October.
Correct.
That's like the Phillies coming out and saying, well, in May we were really right there.
We were so hot. I mean, we were the number one team, I think, for a while, and just went on. I think we have 3 10-game losing streaks.
Yeah, 3 double-digit losing streaks. And that's got to be a record.
It is, yeah.
And, I keep reading about, this guy in the draft next year. I forget his name, but he's, some prodigy that everyone's
Right. Shane Wright, I believe it is.
Is that his name?
Yeah. And he's not – listen, he's an okay player, but he's not – I don't think he's a franchise mover like a Crosby or McDavid or any of those other top tier guys.
Who's the guy from Sweden that the Rangers got a couple years ago?
Yeah, he's not. That's not him either. I know who you're talking about.
The guy in the Rangers is better.
Yeah, the guy on the Rangers is better. Yeah,
Plutko or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Shane Wright's going. I think that's his name. Shane. I'm thinking it's Shane. He's going to be an okay player. He's going to be a good player. He's definitely the number one pick. I just don't think he's a big needle mover.
Well, are we in position? We got to be in position.
Oh yeah,
to get
the NHL does a lottery, right? So they put the little ping pong balls in there, and the worst seed has the best chance of getting it. So yeah, I mean we'll definitely be a top
3
5.
10-game losing streaks and 1 seed. I don't know the landscape of the NHL, but that's pretty bad.
Yeah,
they got to be number 1.
Yeah, we'll probably have somewhere around 10% chance of landing them.
That's it?
Probably, yeah.
But what do you do if you're the Flyers?
I honestly,
where do you go?
I don't know. I don't know. And Brad, constructing a team, maybe you have a little bit more insight to this. When you construct a team a certain way and you think it's going to work, and then it just becomes an outright flop, what do you do after that?
Well, I mean, you clean house to the front office. I mean, the decision maker's got to go. I mean, and a lot of times it depends the power struggle. Do you get rid of the coach in hockey? Right. Or you get, and then usually then if the philosophy, like you said, they constructed a team that doesn't work or guys don't pan out, you got to go a completely different direction.
Yeah. And that's what it seems like the Flyers got to do is really break it down.
They got to break it down. They got to blow it up and start over.
This is the last update I got about the Flyers on my phone.
What, with Gritty?
Gritty.
Yeah.
The face of the franchise, Gritty, dressed up as Thanos, some superhero. I know I'm not a Marvel guy.
Right.
I know that's like a first-degree felony to say that, but like I'm not a Marvel guy. I don't know who Thanos is, but Gritty was dressed up like him yesterday at the hockey game, and that's all everyone's talking about.
Correct. Not the win that we had. Yeah.
They won a game?
I think that, they beat Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah, we beat Chicago on Saturday.
Whoa, one in a row. I mean, here we go. Turn around.
And it was a nationally televised game against probably the two worst teams in the league.
Wasn't it on ABC?
Yeah, it made no sense.
Why'd they do that?
I don't know.
I get it Saturday at 3.
I just can't. I can't watch hockey on TV.
You're not a hockey guy, right?
Well, I'm not, but I like to. It's fun going, but just to watch, it's not a TV sport made for TV. It's hard to watch.
Right.
It's fun. You probably sit right in the front too, Brad. You and John.
I was up
the hat story former pro athlete.
I saw the pictures. He had the box. He was up there
in the box, eating and drinking.
There you go. Only way you can get through those games nowadays.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
All right, we got a few minutes left, about 10 minutes left here. Are we getting a resolution to baseball anytime soon?
No.
I mean, me and Ralphie were talking before the show. I think they're meeting at 1 today, so in about 9 minutes, I think.
I think both camps are dug in, and I think they're just.
I think the season's over.
I bet zero. I would bet 0 games get played this year.
Yep.
Yeah, they're so far apart.
Yeah, they're not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
How much scuttlebutt goes on in a lot? I mean, football and baseball, I know it's kind of apples and oranges with the way they do things and they split revenue and things like that. But like, if you're playing for a bad, like you were here in Philadelphia, we're here for Bremen. Was Bremen the owner?
Norman owned the team. Yeah.
So everybody hated him.
Well,
does that resonate? Does that trickle down to the locker room when you or you don't know?
Because football players don't care who. I mean, as long as they get paid,
right?
They didn't like the facilities. He was cheap, so
right.
I mean, we were at Vet Stadium, so that stinks. But the ownership is irrelevant, really. I mean, unless because he wasn't a real active. He was in Miami half the time.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe Buddy Ryan.
Buddy Ryan.
Buddy, and then I had Richie Kotite
from France.
There you go.
Richie Kotite.
Yeah. Our number one coach, Richie Kotite.
What was it like playing for him? Did you play for him?
Yeah, he was good. I mean, he was an offensive guy. Bud Carsons was the D coordinator, but yeah.
And you play for Buddy at the first part.
No, I didn't play for. I was in Philly with Rich Kotite.
Okay,
yeah. I played up in New York. I played for Bruce Cosler, and Pete Carroll was the D coordinator.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and Monty Kiffin was my linebacker coach.
What's Pete Carroll? What's Pete Carroll like?
Cocky, just like what you see. Like a California, full of energy, running
cocky?
Around.
Okay.
Yeah, he was cocky. Yeah, that was his first D coordinator job. He came from Minnesota, and he was the first opportunity to be a D coordinator.
Now, like when you say cocky,
like just like
I'm better than you.
Well, just kind of like I don't know, just cocky. Like he kind of had a air about
like
him. Arrogance. Like this is how we're going to play defense, and it's going to work 1,000% of the time if you're going to listen. If you just listen to me, that kind of stuff. He was cocky. Yeah, just kind of like a swagger. Yeah.
How does that come off the grown-ups?
He was young at the time. We're talking 1990. So how old's Pete now? Pete's
he's close. Got to be
70. So how many? Do the math.
Do the math. Forever.
90 and now how old was he?
40.
40-year-old D coordinator, young guy. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I guess you kind of have to balance it because, you can't lose the locker room.
No, I mean he had the respect of everybody. Then Monty Kiffin obviously had the respect of what he did, and then Foge Fazio was the special team coordinator.
So Pete Carroll was above Monty Kiffin.
Right. Yeah. So Monty, yeah.
Right.
Monty was the linebacker coach. Greg Robinson Monty was the linebacker coach, and then Monty went on to be.
I think you cut it out there, Brad. I think your mic went. There you go.
Hello.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
So, did you guys do?
You got a lot of static.
What did they do in Tampa with Monty Kiffin? They dropped the linebacker. What's that?
Tampa 2.
Tampa 2.
Tampa 2. Yeah, he made it famous. Tampa 2.
So
cover 2. zone coverage, covered 2 high safeties, Tampa 2.
And then you got to go over the linebacker as a whole.
You would drop back in the coverage most
as
of
a
the
Mike
time.
linebacker, we had to take care of the middle, like the tight end side, the middle. Yeah, the deep middle. Yeah. And which they would try to always exploit because they'd get that a faster tight end or that slot guy and try to run with a Mike linebacker that would where kind of split the cover 2.
What they call them, seam routes now,
and run 3 seam.
Yep.
So, like, do you think that like those types of schemes, like the 46 and the Tampa 2, that teams used in like the 90s and like hit you in the mouth football, do you think that works today? Nuts.
Your mic's out again, bro.
I'm out. Hello.
Oh, there he is.
Okay. Works. It's not so much.
You're out again.
We're almost done.
We're almost done.
Marky Mac, how can you call Hinkie a fraud when Colangelo screwed it up? Because if Sam Hinkie wasn't such a loser, an analytics loser, the NBA wouldn't have had to step in
and get rid of him.
Give Colangelo the reins. And then Colangelo, he's making burner accounts, making fun of his players. Right. He was a total crumb too. But like, I applaud the NBA for stepping in and removing Sam Hinkie from power.
They should have,
because you can't just do that. It's not Xbox. You can't just sit on your keister and simulate seasons and throw seasons away like you're building an NBA 2K team. Like that's not.
Yeah, but it's a slippery slope, guys. When you can control things like that,
right? Yeah. It is. When you get determined as a league how your franchises are being run and being constructed, that is a slippery slope.
Last I checked, we don't live in Russia, or we don't live,
Correct.
It's not communist.
There is a little balance of the integrity of the game that the league has to keep in check.
The Sixers had no integrity. They were a skid mark on the NBA for like 6-7 years in a row. You can't have that. You can't have that.
I hear you. But I mean, it's not like other teams haven't done it. The Thunder are now a team who I think have done that year after year.
It's not blatantly like the Sixers went out of their way to blatantly do it for half a decade.
They did.
That's not good for anybody.
No,
it's not good for the players that they're running out there losing by 50 points. It's not good for the city. It's not good for the team.
And they have put in some guidelines to make that a little bit better. Right now, you have the blue coach for the Sixers. Right now, we get the pick from. You just can't really sign a guy off the streets. Pretty much, that's what the Sixers are doing during that whole process. You were just signing guys off the street that are playing street ball and saying, "Hey, come play and lose for us."
And they're just being total crumbs about it. Because remember, they would change the uniforms every year.
Yep.
Now this jersey is no good anymore. You got to buy the new stuff. Yep. You're going to be.
It's all about merchandise.
That's all money.
And then what did Colangelo? I mean, I get Colangelo was just a crumb and a fraud for his Twitter antics. But what did Colangelo screw up?
Nothing. No, Colangelo was okay. I was okay with him.
I mean, because Hinkie hit one draft pick in half a decade, and it was a damn good hit.
I was just about to say, we got lucky, though, that he fell to us.
Right, he broke his foot.
Right.
We got it. Because remember the whole thing? We had all those hashtags, winless for Wiggins.
Right.
Oh, there was a couple other ones, too. And then Ben gets picked.
Well, thank God he's gone. Thank God he's out of town.
Was that Scam Hinkie or was that Colangelo?
That was Colangelo.
Okay.
That was Colangelo.
So he could have picked Ingram, but whatever.
No, Ben Simmons was the pick. I'll never fault a guy for making the right pick. If it doesn't pan out, then that is what it is. But if you make the right pick, how can you fault a guy? It's the same thing going into this Eagles draft.
If someone gets hurt or something, it's not our control.
Correct.
Marky Mac, if you want to have chicken or the egg arguments, what came first, we can do it all day. I'm not a fan of tanking, losing on purpose. Look, if your star player's hurt and you're like, all right, maybe we're these last 20 games, we're going to shut it down a little bit and we're going to get more ping pong balls. But then next year, we're putting the best talent.
You got to keep it.
Let me know if you're going to tank a game or take it. Let me know.
Right.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Let us know.
The NBA is also a little bit different because the way that the contracts are constructed, contracts are way shorter in the NBA. Player changing is so much more fluent in the NBA than any other sport. And you have to have stars, right? So small market teams like a Minnesota, like a Toronto, like a OKC or Orlando or any teams like that, they have to get their talent through the draft. The only way they're doing that is with the 1 or 2 pick. So that means they have to tank because no free agent is going to OKC. No free agent is going to Toronto, to Minnesota, right? So you have to tank. That's the league's fault.
Right.
They constructed it that
but
way.
The Thunder they're a bad team. They're rebuilding. Their players left and they're rebuilding.
Right.
They're not blatantly going out of their way.
You can say blatant
to win
or not,
10 games a year.
But they've been doing it for 5-6 years now.
And they got to win the ball, the draft thing. They got to get
right.
lucky.
You have to hit the ping pong ball.
Got the ping pong ball, which is a lousy system. It's a terrible system.
You're going to have a draft this year where if you don't get Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga,
there's nothing.
You got nothing.
There's nothing else. Right.
Nothing
there's
else
one
there.
guy. Yeah. There's one guy. Yeah.
At least this year. I don't know what the other. I mean, that's fine if you don't like the strategy. Then don't watch. But you're calling Hinkie a fraud when he was ultimately successful. That's incorrect.
How was he successful?
He wasn't successful.
They didn't win. Yeah.
He never had anywhere close to a winning record.
I could do what Hinkie was doing. I could lose.
We got 6-7-year-olds running around here on the boardwalk. I can get them to do what Sam Hinkie did. It didn't take any skill. It didn't take any skill to do what Sam Hinkie did. Accumulating assets by losing on purpose.
It's the easiest thing a GM can do.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And then you have the ultimate. And then you want to tell me not to watch. I'm allowed to have an opinion. That's I can say my opinion, and because I don't like. So what? I'm not an Eagles fan anymore because I don't think Jalen Hurts is any good. Like, come on, bro, be better than that. You were good. It was a good discussion until you said that. Now you lost me. That's fine, and don't watch. But I am going to watch now because they have.
You have too much coffee. You're all fired up, aren't you?
He's all fired up.
Yeah, extra large. All but right. I'm gonna watch them now because they have a product I believe in.
Right.
It's not my job. I'm not obligated to just willy-nilly throw my money, throw my time, throw my emotions at these teams because they play in Philadelphia. The burden is on the state. The burden is on the Philadelphia teams to compel me to be emotionally invested, financially invested, and be excited and to talk about them. Not the other way around.
You're right, and that's a winning franchise. A franchise that can bring the fans to want to be there is a winning franchise.
But unfortunately, you're absolutely right what you said, but the system and the leagues aren't set up that way because of the NFL's not set up like that with profit sharing and everyone makes the same amount of money of their contract. It doesn't benefit them. They don't. Most owners don't think like that.
Right.
Marky Mac, get superstars was a strategy, and they did. And, they did. But Sam Hinkie didn't.
No, he didn't. Yeah, Sam Hinkie did not. And they still haven't won from it. So how is it? I just don't understand how you call it successful. They haven't won. So it's not successful.
If the goal of the process was to get the singular best player in the NBA.
Congrats.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're successful. I'm a little more complex than that. I want to win
championships.
I want championships. If you're going to do that, if you're going to embarrass my city and embarrass my team and embarrass the NBA for half a decade,
I better see a return in 5 years.
You better, and one not even good enough, in my opinion.
Right.
You got to rattle off a couple here with this core. If this is what the process netted me, this is what I waited almost 10, maybe even over 10 years at this point for this Joel Embiid, Maxey, Harden, Harris. Over the next 3 to 5 years, I need multiples. Is that fair or no?
I don't think that's fair. I need one.
That's not fair.
I need one. Give me one.
One, and then be
competitive.
Be at the dance a couple times.
There you go. Yep.
Define at the dance.
Eastern Conference Finals.
Eastern Conference Finals.
Which they haven't even been to.
They haven't been there.
Well, that's what we say. So win one and be at the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep. Yep. And I'll be thrilled with that. I'll buy season tickets if that happens.
Because the NBA, I'm not contradicting myself, Marky Mac. The NBA stepped in because Sam Hinkie was a skid mark on the game of basketball.
Yes, they did. They ran him out.
So the NBA said enough was enough. And Adam Silver, like, we got a lot of crumbs running these leagues these days, but Adam Silver is not one of them. That guy, he gets it. And
Correct.
He does a great job. And he said,
yeah,
you're in a major market.
You shouldn't be losing. Yeah.
Like, they're the third winningest franchise in NBA history. Enough's enough.
Yep.
You're done. You're out. You're not representing my league like that as a.
And he was right doing it.
This is why Oklahoma City's going to get away with it because nobody cares.
Because it's Oklahoma
City. But you're in Philadelphia. You're in a major market. Like, I need Saturday night 8:00 primetime games in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not losing by 70 points to every time you play a competent NBA team.
Right.
So it's not contradicting myself. Yes, they finally got a guy in Daryl Morey who stepped up and finished the process, or at least put the pieces in place for the process to be finished. But, like, I refuse to give Sam Hinkie any credit for what has been built here in Philadelphia by people not named Sam Hinkie, because anybody could have done what he did.
Again,
I can lose a bunch of games and pick a bunch of bums in the draft.
You're right. He didn't do anything special. I do think the philosophy, based on the way the NBA is constructed, is a fine philosophy, right? You have to hit the 1 or 2 pick to be successful in the NBA. It's just the way it is.
But, like, Steph went 7th.
They're anomalies.
Giannis went 14th.
Like you don't find guys like that.
Guys like that.
They're not in every draft.
Harden went 3rd. Durant went 2nd.
They're not right. That's what I'm saying. 1 or 2.
Ingram went 2nd.
1 or 2.
There's more busts at the first pick in the draft than any other position. Greg Oden.
I get you, but but you're also not winning. You're not winning without those picks. Tell me a team that has won without those picks.
But my point is, the Warriors got Curry. The Bucks got Giannis.
Right.
By losing 0 games on purpose.
I hear you, but no one thought either of them. I remember when Curry came out, I laughed that they took Curry because I thought he was a joke. No one thought he was going to be as good as he is. Giannis completely changed his body, his play style. He completely changed everything. Nobody thought he was what he was. It's just, you can't go off of that. It's like saying the whole Tom Brady thing, too. Like, Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick, and he's the best player to ever play the game. And, that happens.
They got lucky.
Exactly. That happens. But I would always rather have the number 1 pick because it gives you a better percentage of hitting a better guy.
And then this is the last comment. We got to get out of here. We're over time. But Mark, now you're the one contradicting yourself. Is Philly a major market? Why doesn't any high-profile free agent sign with the Sixers? Because they were winning 10 games a year. You don't think players are going to be taking pay cuts to come here next year to play with Harden and Embiid and
I guarantee you we'll get people that want to come play here next year. Yes.
You think?
Yeah. If we can find a way to move Tobias Harris's contract, I guarantee you we will get other guys to come here.
It depends your mindset. People want to make as much money as you can. In the short, your career, your window of opportunity is
the veterans.
You get the old heads.
The veterans.
Yeah.
They want the ring. They're
want
chasing the ring.
Okay.
Look at Iggy. He went there ring chasing. He's still playing.
Right.
All right, we got to get out of here. It's been a great show. A lot of fun. Thank you, Brad, for
guys. Thank you.
Joining us.
And then Johnny, we'll talk this week before our meeting.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
Sounds good, bro.
We got some big things. We got some big things coming. So
big
people
things,
locked
baby.
in. We got locked in on ATG Radio. Ralphie, huge shout out for producing.
Thanks,
Thank you to everyone who commented, shared, subscribed to the show. Thank you to John Coyle for hosting us. Come on down. The sun looks like it's drying here, Johnny.
Out.
It's getting dry. The sun's peeking out. And we got 50% off all the hats and 20% off if you're an A2D member. You got any of those cornhole boards?
I got the cornhole boards. I got 2 of them left. I got Sixers one, which looks really nice. Just came in. And I got the Penn State one.
There you go. There you have it. Until next Sunday, same time, same place.